Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and yes, so we had some like loose ends. Basically, I wanted to make a video talking about that final batch of the post-Candle Day releases that were in the last priorities that I talked about in my Candle Day prep video. Turns out that those did not come out for Candle Day. I feel like they had a much better inventory management this year, where a lot of the stores still had a ton of holiday stuff, even on the third day, that they didn't really have to put out any of that stuff. And even the stores that were more bare and thin on the third day and beyond, they were said that they were strictly not allowed to put out any of these candles, so I think they were just like really strict about not putting these candles out yet. But they're finally online now, and one store had them out already, and then the stores that don't have them out, they're still available for Boppis, so there's that. But the one candle that actually turned out to be new out of all of them is Vanilla Coconut Surf, so this video will cover this fragrance quite in depth. I have already burned it, and spoiler, I really enjoy it, so I already got a second one today. So there's that. And we'll talk about the other Candle Day releases as well. And then I'll just throw in the Meet Me in Miami Body Care Day fragrance that I redeemed with the reward, and I'll tack that on this video as well. So yeah, the post-Candle Day stuff, it was just not available for Candle Day. Those were indeed post-Candle Day replenishment candles that I think are like the very first early phase of spring. I'm not sure if those will be included part of SAS. I feel like they probably won't, but they are available in 1950 right now. Of course, I bought a few extra Candle Day candles to exchange for potential newness afterwards. So that's what I did with the two Vanilla Coconut Surf that I obtained myself. As for the other collections, we have the Valentine's Day stuff. Bubbly Rosé has a super cute pink quilted lid, but nasty ass fragrance, so don't need that. And Strawberry Pound Cake. There's a Sweetheart Cherry that's coming out in a signature single wick in a very similar packaging to Strawberry Pound Cake. But unfortunately, the one supposed new fragrance for Valentine's Day seems to be just a single wick fragrance. And even then, like, that could be any cherry fragrance, like Black Cherry Merlot or like Black Cherry Seltzer. It could be any like combination of cherry fragrances we've had before. So I don't know what that will actually be. But kind of bummer that that's what appears to be just the whole Valentine's Day collection, 2 repackages and a single, supposedly new single wick. So total bummer there, and also weird that it's already out for purchase in December at 1950. But those do exist if you're interested in that. The other collection, a total snooze fest, I just can't believe it. What is it? The Soulcation Destinations turned out to be all repackages. If you saw my Instagram stories, I already talked about it. The Blue Icelandic Waters is just Deep Blue Sea. It actually says Deep Blue Sea on the bottom, and I believe the ILN matches to a previous Deep Blue Sea. We also have the Bali Rainforest, which you would think is like a nice green rainforest fragrance or something floral, but it's actually just yuzu and white pineapple repackaged from the Neutrals collection from earlier this year. The bottom says orange and white pineapple, so yuzu and orange, they just kind of switched it out there. And that, the island also matches on the previous yuzu and white pineapple. And then so the third fragrance is Sedona Sandstone, where we were like, ooh, maybe that's the one new one. Nope, it sure isn't. That one actually says it's Patchouli Rosewood on the bottom as well. So at least they weren't trying to hide the fact that they were repackages, but it's just weird that the front has a different name from the bottom. Kind of whack, but they do that sometimes. But in any case, Patchouli Rosewood, don't get me wrong, was a nice fragrance. It came out finally in 3 wick this year, wide. It was available in that like this for a hot moment with the marble lid at select test stores, and then we also saw it in a single wick, but we finally have it in a 3 wick, but then we're also getting it in a 3 wick in Sedona Sandstone if you missed out on it. Patchouli Flowers, Pink Pepper, and Exotic Rosewood. It's a nice fragrance, has a very like sophisticated woodsy floral smell to it that I enjoy. It's not something that I need to like repeat buy, but I enjoy the one that I do have. The ILN, however, on this and Sedona Sandstone are different, and I speculate it's because this version has the thick rope-like wicks, and for whatever reason the new version has core wicks on it, so when you change like the type of wick that's used in there, I think that assigns it a new ILN, kind of like a new product formula number, so that's kind of how that worked out. So that was the entire Soulcation Destinations collection, which was super boring and such a disappointment that none of those were new. So totally blows. There's the Bought for Sale Wallpaper collection, which I think those are actually indeed made for SAS because they're a bought for sale collection. All boring, snooze fest, champagne toast, you know, that kind of stuff. Ocean driftwood, we don't need to talk about that. And then so that just leaves the only other collection, which is the Soulcation Affirmations. Out of the three, only one is new. Endless Weekend is a repackage. Great fragrance nonetheless, but comes out all the time, so don't need it. And then Palo Santo as well, which I don't need that one either because it's a repeat. So then, Vanilla Coconut Surf. I was like, oh my god, what is this gonna be? I wasn't a huge fan of coconut from Bath & Body Works, but I do have to say I have like definitely turned the page in terms of enjoying coconut from Bath & Body Works a lot more. That's what the wraparound looks like right there. It has that little pattern on it and then like a sort of textured background there. And it has a gold lid. Sweet Vanilla, Coconut Waves, and Beechwood. These are $26.95. I have already burned this one once yesterday, and oh boy, I really enjoy this. It's just so juicy, and it like comes alive when it's burning as well. It's so strong and delicious and amazing, and I didn't want to blow it out. Excellent. Loved it. So yeah, when you smell it on cold, it's like, oh yeah, it's just another run-of-the-mill Bath & Body Works coconut fragrance. They do coconuts like ad nauseum. It's just like a dime a dozen at this point to how many coconuts we have from Bath & Body Works. So when you smell it, you're like, okay, this is pleasant and nice, but okay, how is it really different from any other coconut fragrance? And so now that I've burned it, I feel like I can talk about it a little bit better. And it reminds me of a mix of Honolulu Sun with heaps of this like creamy whipped vanilla cream, like whipped cream vanilla fragrance. So it actually kind of leans more gourmand or sweet in vanilla than you would imagine like a surf fragrance to be. But nonetheless, there is still like a surf beachy quality in the sense that the Honolulu Sun coconut portion has that sort of beachy, salty coconut fragrance that we know from Honolulu Sun. So it's not exactly Honolulu Sun, but it shares similarity to that type of beachy, sort of salty coconut fragrance. And then once again, heaps of this like vanilla cream in there that it's like another coconut vanilla fragrance, but it's so much better than the previous coconut vanilla or vanilla coconut that we've had from them before, many, many years back. That one always kind of turns like crayony and grody and nasty, which is what I don't normally like about Bath & Body Works coconut fragrances, or the fact that they always smell sort of like nutty and grody and crayony and nasty. But this one has a nice essence of that saltiness mixed with that vanilla cream that it doesn't turn into crayons, at least at this point. So yeah, just super scrumptious. I just love that like sort of refreshing, invigorating coconut saltiness that you get that's sort of warm and cozy, but then it's also balanced by a warm and cozy vanilla fragrance, and it's just really juicy. So I really enjoy it. It's like one of my favorite coconut fragrances. So yeah, I think Honolulu Sun hasn't been out in a while in candle form. It still comes out in hand soap, and I think it's coming out potentially for SAS in hand soap with that cotton candy grape thing. So the hand soap still exists. It originally came out as Lanikai Coconut in a Hawaiian collection many, many years back in like a gray wax, and then they re-released it as Honolulu Sun, and it got like other formats, so they kind of give it the hookup in terms of naming it Honolulu Sun from the original Lanikai Coconut. But in any case, both of those have like this sort of like beachy coconut fragrance to it that has a little bit of like a fruity quality mixed with a little bit like a citrus to give it a little bit of this like sort of beachy, salty, nuzzly quality, and so you get that sort of beachy coconut fragrance. So yeah, I really enjoy it. So that was Vanilla Coconut Surf. In comparison to all the other coconuts we have, I have quite a few coconuts in my collection despite not really enjoying coconut from Bath & Body Works. But like we have Coconut Colada right here. This is so much sweeter on like that banana and pineapple sort of colada fragrance that we get. It's nowhere near as like fruity and sweet and almost like, there's almost like a sour, zesty drink quality to it. You don't really get that in the Vanilla Coconut Surf. This is so much more fruity. That is more strong on the coconut. We have that one-hit wonder Coconut Cabana. Friggin' love this candle. Oh my god. And the packaging was snatched on it with that color match lid and the wax. Coconut Creme, Vanilla Sandalwood, and a hint of pineapple. This one's creamier, and it has a distinct like body care sandalwood sort of lotiony quality to it that is different from Vanilla Coconut Surf. This one has a creaminess and a sweetness, but it's more like this sort of sophisticated body care sandalwood based vanilla and creaminess rather than the sort of like gourmand whipped cream action we get in Vanilla Coconut Surf. So different from Coconut Cabana as well. We have that nasty ass coconut vetiver fragrance from that Ingredients Plus collection that one year. Coconut milk, wild jasmine, and vetiver. This has that like vetiver and jasmine in there that give it that sort of like grassy, metallic plus like like chalky bar soap quality mixed with like a very unsweet coconut flesh type of fragrance to it. Totally different. This has that weird like soapy vetiver quality to it that makes it a lot more earthy, and this is like not very sweet at all compared to the vanilla coconut Surf, so it's not that either. Santorini Coast, we have that one. This one was the creamy coconut, almond blossom, and warm vanilla. Ooh. This one always smells so weird on cold. It smells like singed hair and like burning flesh. Not that I guess the only time I would know burning flesh was like when I did dissection in like biology class or whatever, one of the science classes in middle or high school. We did like dissecting. So I guess that's where I get that like distinct burning flesh and singed hair type of equation. Yeah, there's something about this that's really weird, but when you go to burn it, it gets a little bit nicer, but this one has that sort of like warm, crunchy, almost almond type of quality to it, with like a sandiness mixed with a warm coconut. But once again, the coconut just has that weird, like fleshy, singed hair type of feel to it that's very, very, very similar to the copper coconut fragrance. It doesn't have the growtiness that the Santorini Coast has at all whatsoever. This is much more pleasant on cold and warm. We have toasted coconut cookie, aka toasted coconut eclair, and toasted coconut s'mores right here, and that's what that looks like. We have toasted coconut flakes, vanilla cookies, and a sprinkle of cocoa powder. This is so much more like cocoa powder and gourmand and has that sort of like graham crackery type of feel to it that vanilla coconut Surf does not have. While this shares a little bit of a gourmand vanilla action, this is so much more just full-blown like cookies and like that graham crackery cocoa feel to it. This is so much more bakery, and the coconut is not as strong as it is in vanilla coconut Surf. This kind of smells like those jet puff toasted marshmallows. So this one's like full-blown gourmand foodie. Moving on, we have Sunkissed Coconut right here. And this one was the Sweet Coconut, Fresh Ylang Ylang, and Plumeria Petals. This is kind of misleading because it's not really a coconut fragrance. It's more floral first. And so you get that Ylang Ylang and the Plumeria Petals that I love so much. But this is more so a white floral, solar floral fragrance that it's not at all this. Same with Bronze Sunset. This one also has that sort of neroli, floral, solar floral feel to it. Exotic Coconut, Island Waves, and Soft Musk. That this is totally different. This one's a lot more powdery than even Sunkissed Coconut, so it's not at all this either. Same with Cocoa Paradise and Hibiscus Paradise. These both have a distinct body care neroli quality to it. And this has that sort of like creamy, wet, warm, like sandalwood, like bronzed action in here with that sort of Manoi oil, which has that sort of warm oiliness to it. So this is totally much more like rich and thick and like deep and more body care than vanilla coconut Surf is. Then lastly, Fresh Coconut and Cotton. It's like totally not this because this has heaps of that cotton fragrance in it. So yeah, totally not that. And then of course we have like the Tiki Beach and Waikiki Beach Coconut. Totally not those either. So I think it does seem like a new fragrance, but it kind of smells like a mashup of Honolulu Sun with some kind of like whipped cream and vanilla essence to it. And I really enjoy it. It was so pleasant, especially like in the cold weather. It just makes you want to like transport to some kind of, you know, paradise location. It also has a slight similarity to the salted vanilla fragrance we've had before in the sense that there is a saltiness mixed with a little bit of vanilla. But of course, salted vanilla did not have coconut in it. And this has heaps of coconut, so it's not that, but a kind of similar feel. So that was my long-winded explanation of vanilla coconut Surf, and so that was that. So that wraps up all the post-Candle Day release information we need to talk about. So SAS is now upon us after the day after Christmas in stores. I don't think really anything new or juicy in terms of home fragrance is coming out for that, except for a slew of wallflowers, but I don't really care about those either. So just waiting for spring to get here and go on with my life there. And then lastly, I just want to talk about Meet Me in Miami. We're just all about the coconuts and the tropical fragrances. So this was, of course, the Body Care Day release, and I redeemed a reward on it just because I had one that was expiring soon, and this was new. Breezy Palm Trees, Cabana Coladas, and Suntan Days. And when I smell this in store, I was like, is this just not Cocoa Paradise? But when you use it and you compare it to the others, it totally is not. This is a different fragrance, but it's very similar to other fragrances we've had before. There's heaps of this like fruity banana colada fragrance that you get in here that is very reminiscent of the Belize Tropical Cabana right here. This was the banana daiquiri, pineapple, and golden sands. And yeah, immensely similar to that. Like if you add coconut to this, that's kind of what Meet Me in Miami is. And so in comparison to Cocoa Paradise, like this is so much fruitier, Meet Me in Miami, than the Cocoa Paradise fragrance is. Whereas Cocoa Paradise is stronger on the floral component. And it's also super similar to the coconut fragrance we got in Island White Sand right here. This was Sparkling Tangelo, Sheer Sands, White Orchid, Island Driftwood, and Coconut Water. It's a very similar, like sort of like sun-kissed coconut fragrance. Very similar to that. Mixed with a little bit of that sort of fruitiness in here as well. So that's why it kind of smells like it. Honestly, like if you kind of just like mix these two together, you would like get something so immensely close to Meet Me in Miami. And then we have Cocoa Paradise here, of course, as well. And when you smell this, yeah, this one's a lot more floral on that Neroli and Manoi fragrance. And it's a little bit more of that sort of bronzed, like sort of oily, like deepness to it that Meet Me in Miami doesn't quite have, but still very similar nonetheless. It's another coconut body care fragrance, so of course it's still gonna smell quite similar to it. But if you kind of just like mixed all these three, but primarily these two together, you would get something that smelled just like the Meet Me in Miami. So it's nice. It's like a coconut plus like a fruity colada fragrance with a little bit of like a coconut sunscreen essence underneath that's reminiscent of the Cocoa Paradise fragrance. And yeah, it's just another serviceable coconut body care fragrance from BBW. Their coconut body care fragrances must just do exceptionally well for them to continue releasing something that's like so similar to one another over and over and over and over again. So that was Meet Me in Miami right there. Plenty strong and fine in the shower. So yeah, and I think that is it. Yeah, I just felt like I had some loose ends from that like Candle Day. I was like, I don't feel like complete unless I talk about that last phase of Candle Day. And now that's out of my system with the one new fragrance, I feel good. So that's pretty much it. Let me know if you tried this fragrance yourself and your thoughts down below. And SAS is once again right around the corner. And then after that, we have all the juicy spring stuff. So looking forward to that. Have a happy holiday. If I don't see you guys before then, I'm not sure what my uploading content will be. But yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Hope you have a safe and joyful holiday with your family and friends and loved ones. So yeah, thanks so much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.